the executive session.
Okay, this is a meeting of the Board of Trustees, the Village of Sleepy Hollow. Will you please rise with me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. As you know, at our meetings, our regular meetings every 2 weeks, we remember those members of our community who have passed since our last meeting. And since our last meeting, we lost Mary Tavares, young age of 61, resident downtown, a longtime local resident. Also, Jonathan Nieves at the very young age of 29, from College Avenue. And a resident of Terrytown, but known to many, Dr. Dominic Sincero. So our thoughts are with their families. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, first up, we have a warrant. Actually, that was first up. But we have a warrant that was distributed earlier. The total amount of the warrant is $699,631.91. If there are any questions on the warrant, please raise them now.
Move adoption of the warrant. Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? The warrant is approved. Thank you. For those at home, I'm sorry, we haven't figured out how to get it through the screen, but just continuing that Halloween spirit here. Come on down. We also have the minutes of October 22nd. Any corrections or amendments, edits to the minutes? Other than for some reason I got 3 copies, 4 copies. It's pretty emphatic.
Motion to approve the minutes of October 22nd, 2019. Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions?
Abstain.
Please note the abstention for the record. And the minutes are approved. Move on to my announcements. I just wanted to thank, I think everybody on the board wants to thank, and everybody who visited the village over the weekend wants to thank the village staff for a really incredible weekend. It was really fun with the hayride. The block party I thought was terrific. The vibe out on Beekman was really great. The weather held off. Way more people than I think I've ever seen at the block party before. And that was all accomplished because of the folks that work for the village. So I want to thank Anthony Giacchio for your leadership in putting it together. I want to thank the folks from our Department of Public Works and Richie Gross. You guys did a fantastic job. Matt Roan and your staff as well. The staff here in Village Hall, I think everybody who works here was involved somewhere, somehow on Friday and Saturday night. So it was great to see that. I was trying to figure out if there was anybody in the police department who wasn't here, but it felt very much like an all-hands-on-deck couple of evenings, and I think it went incredibly well. The feedback that I've received from visitors and locals alike was really terrific, and it was just fun. It was really fun. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about it from Mr. Giacchio and his report, but I just wanted to thank you guys for a great job. And then you feel free to chime in, folks. once you
Ditto.
mark down that.
Ditto?
It was fantastic.
It
It really
was.
was a great weekend.
A lot of fun.
Mr. Giacchio?
Don't forget the Halloween committee, which includes 3 trustees that helped get it done.
You know, I tend to discount our work because you guys provide, I'm supposed to say incredible support to our efforts, but it's way more than support. So, yeah, we're involved.
But Trustee Gebler was there both nights for 5 hours at least, right? More than that, 6 hours each night, so she put up with
Thank
my
you.
jokes, which was even
Oh, my
worse,
God.
more difficult.
Stop.
Stop it right now.
Okay, Con Edison, we continue to work with them on their
Hang on a
restoration
second,
of our
Michelle.
roads.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You can have the bucket.
We were fortunate because we got them to pave New Broadway in time for the hayride and also the Halloween. Speaking of Halloween, I know it's supposed to rain, but just a reminder for everybody driving, take special care with all of our trick-or-treaters that we have, and we get many more than most communities. The curb project is completed. They completed the west side of Monroe between Millard and Kelbourne, south side of Kelbourne between Riverside and Monroe, south side of Kelbourne between Broadway and Bellwood, and both sides of Harwood between Bellwood and Monroe. We're going to continue each year to try and do more and more curbing. Next year we'll work in Weber Park after the Con Edison work is done. Very happy to report that the sweeper is in service and working great, and I know the guys who have driven it think it's much better than the old ones that we've had. We had a collapsed sewer on Continental Street, which has caused some major problems for us. We were able to divert the sewer temporarily. We have generators out there accomplishing that, but we're going to need to repair that. It's going to be fairly costly. We're working with our engineers to get a plan in place, and we'll come back to the village board to give you more information about that. The sewer is about 40 feet deep, so we have to go, we can't go in the same direction that it was in, so it's a little complicated fix. As Mayor mentioned, Haunted Hayride was a great success. I thought I've been here 11 years. This year, including all of the events, was definitely the best year with numbers-wise. We had so many people, and the weather held out. Every event that we've had, the weather was great. Thank God we didn't have an event on Sunday. So that was great. Including in those events was a 10K run, which kind of we forgot about. Almost 1,000 runners went off without a hitch. Thank you to the Rivertown Runners for the great work that they do, but really, and I know Trustee Spyro finished and did great.
I finished.
A great time.
She was running with the strong support of the entire board.
Absolutely. That's what carried me up that hill. Are you kidding?
I sent a photo to the board. There were a lot of people in costume. It was really funny.
Oh,
Some of
it
the
was
costumes were
amazing.
funny.
I did not, however.
No, but it was really comical. I do want to echo the mayor's thank you to all the staff. I think we have about 75 full-time workers. I'd probably say about 50 of them were involved in the 2 weekends.
Wow.
And the volunteers, not just the trustees that helped out, all the fire department, ambulance corps, volunteers that helped chaperone the hayride. We really had a lot of community involvement, and we really appreciate all the help we got, including the actors up in the hayride. I've been working with Trustee Gonzalez regarding the fire department pension program. I've been working to get some information on how the pension works, and my goal is to meet with the fire department next week. They've asked for somebody to come and just get them an update on what's going on with that, with our progress. That's before our meeting next week. Obviously, any board members are welcome to join. We're going to be meeting with Ed John Hudson on Thursday to discuss when and how we're going to get roads dedicated to the village and parkland. We're going to be discussing that on Thursday with them. I met today with Deputy Mayor Rosenblum to discuss the lights on Riverside Drive. We're still not fully corrected that problem, but we think we have a solution, which may include removing some of the lights and putting them in another location in the village. And finally, the bollards that we had a resident ask us to put up on Route 9 on the sidewalk where the crosswalk is, just near Sign Extreme, have been placed out there, and we'll see how that works. And that's my report.
Anthony, can you tell me what time the meeting is?
I told them I'd be there at 6.
6
for the
o'clock?
fire. Yeah,
What day again?
Tuesday.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Giacchio? One thing I did want to add in the way of happy news, or just news in general, but happy news is Police Officer Craig Kelly and his family have welcomed a new addition, baby girl Candace May. Mom's fine, kid's fine. He's just proud, but everybody's doing well, so welcome and congratulations. Glad to hear everybody's doing well. Also just want to remind people that next Tuesday is Election Day, so please get out and vote. Always be counted. The polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. next Tuesday, so please get out there and make your voice heard. That also means that our Department of Public Works will be closed on Tuesday. So sanitation routes that run on Tuesday will run on Monday. So just keep that in mind. All right, we'll move on to a report from Matt Roan on the Recreation Department. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the board. This is the October 2019 Recreation Report. The following programs have concluded since the last Recreation Report. I know they've already attended a few meetings, the Cultural Festival Committee, but that was held for the first time this fall back on September 21st at Kingsland Park. We received tremendous support from the community and volunteers who helped organize the event, so I want to thank them. We had live music, food, vendors, and activities for kids, and community presentations that helped highlight the day. And the committee plans on continuing this tradition and running the event again next fall. A successful Oktoberfest was held at Kingsland Park on September 28th. There was food, music, vendors, and entertainment for the kids, and it was a beautiful day, and we had a huge crowd. A party in the park at Horan's Landing was held on Friday, October 4th. The band Greetings from Anywhere entertained everyone, and we had a great crowd, enjoyed food, ice cream, bouncy castles, and there was other entertainment. That Friday party in the park was one that was canceled over the summer, and it was successful, so I may implement a Friday in October party in the park last year to sort of kick off our Halloween season, because I thought it was well attended. The first annual Sleepy Hollow International Film Festival was held here and in Tarrytown on October 10th through the 13th. This event was hugely popular. And
Just wait.
can we hear?
Just-
Should we wait?
Candy break.
Ooh, that sounded sad.
Great.
The International Film Festival was hugely popular and included events at the Warner Library, the Tarrytown Music Hall, and at Kingsland Point Park. There were special screenings and presentations held through the weekend, and the organizers were so pleased with the results, they've already reached back to us about discussing a return next fall. So that was a very unique event, and we're happy to host that. Special thanks to the Chamber of Commerce and everybody else involved in the street fair, which was held back on Saturday the 12th. Beekman Avenue was packed with vendors and visitors. A Parents' Night Out was held at the Galgano Senior Building on Friday, October 18th, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We had over 40 kids in attendance, and there was entertainment and food provided for all the kids. There was also a pumpkin painting for the kids held at Kingsland Point Park on Saturday, the 19th of October. We had a good crowd, and the kids also got to take a hayride around the park. And it's already been mentioned a few times, but our haunted hayride and block party was a huge success this past weekend. And we shouldn't forget the Rivertown's runners for the Halloween 10K that was held. I want to thank the Volunteer Ambulance Corps and the Police Department and the Fire Department, everybody who helped, trustees and staff. It was an incredible event. Some ongoing events and programs. The after-school program began back in September and will run for the rest of the school year. The program runs 2:30 to 6 o'clock at the Galgano Center on regular school days. We have 48 kids enrolled in the program, and that's a $225 per month fee for a Sleepy Hollow resident. We have youth soccer clinics for young kids, which began back on September 21st at Barnhart Park. Classes are on Saturdays, and times vary depending on the age group. It's a 9-week program and instructed by Super Soccer Star staff. We also have a youth fitness club at Barnhart Park, which has been running this fall. There were 6 Mondays in September and October from 5 to 6. This is a program for 2nd through 6th graders instructed by Danny Cadena from Train Like a Pro. The senior programs, we have yoga on Mondays, senior fitness classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have a walking group on Thursday mornings and a knitting group on Fridays. And also the next ceramics class for the seniors is scheduled for Thursday the 31st at 1:15 p.m. Some upcoming events. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 30th, we have our 2nd annual Truck or Treat event on Beekman Avenue in the parking lot across the street from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So all the kids are invited to get some candy and get close-up views of some cool vehicles. And it's important to note that on Thursday, the 31st, our kids' Halloween parade on Beekman will be canceled because of the weather. However, we are still going to have the candy bags hand out for all the kids and their families downstairs here in the fire hall from 5:30 to 6:30. So everybody's welcome to come in costume and still get their candy despite the poor weather. There's a senior citizen trip scheduled to the Evening Dinner Theater for Thursday, November 14th. So if anybody's interested, please contact our senior citizen director for more information. And I've been working with the Tarrytown Recreation Department and John Sutherland from TNT on youth basketball for the winter. Youth basketball, we're planning on youth basketball to be run now through the recreation departments for the 3rd through 6th graders. These age levels were previously run through TNT. However, TNT is going to continue, hopefully, running the kindergarten through 2nd grade levels and also continue, with our help, sponsoring Tri-County basketball. But the 3rd through 6th graders, the recreation departments are going to take more of a hand. So Tarrytown is going to help run the boys' programs, and we're going to help run the girls' programs here in Sleepy Hollow. This will be a travel youth basketball program for all abilities, which will play against other communities. So if you're interested in your 3rd through 6th grade, please contact either the Tarrytown Recreation Department or our offices in Sleepy Hollow for more information. We're going to start doing registration in the next few weeks.
Matt, I'm sorry, is
Yep.
that the Tri-County League you're taking over?
No,
So
no.
it's in
No,
addition to
Tri-County
the
will still be
Tri-County?
in addition, yep. Tri-County will still be in existence. TNT will be in
Got it.
existence for the younger kids, and we're just going to take more of a responsibility with the 3rd through 6th graders.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
where will they practice?
They're going to practice in our schools,
Okay.
and they're going to play in various communities and gyms locally. So Joe from Tarrytown and I are excited about it, and we think it's going to help improve the program a little bit, and it's also going to help TNT. John's excited for us to get involved as
Yeah, well,
well.
it's nice to see because, I mean, Tri-County's so competitive and not everybody makes the team, so this is good to have a rec.
That's one of the ways it's going to help. Tri-County has a lot of kids on the team that maybe aren't ready for that level.
Right.
So in discussions with some of the folks, we think that if there's some kids that may not be able to get enough playing time or be able to compete at that level, this is also a league where they can compete, not just do practices or clinics. They'll get to play against other communities in a recreation, but still travel level. And even though we'll accept any level, we think this will be better for everybody.
Yeah, it's great.
So we're hoping this will be a success this winter.
Thank you.
Some of the parks items we've been working on, rubberized playground surfacing at Barnhart and Sykes Park, resurfacing the basketball courts at both Barnhart and Margata Parks, and the addition of a heating unit at the platform tennis courts at DeVries. So to update you on those, we're still receiving some prices for the rubberized playground surfacing. The resurfacing of the basketball court is set, and it's going to be scheduled for the spring. So we'll have new basketball courts in the springtime. And the heating units at the platform tennis courts were installed last week. So the next step, it will be organizing, setting up the propane heating plans, which I was on the telephone with Suburban Propane today. So we're excited to have those heating units hopefully in operation soon. Some other items, the lighthouse tours are finished for the season. I want to thank Henry Steiner for extending his schedule through October. We'd asked him to stay open September and October because of the tourism and the crowds, and he stayed open on Sundays. It was successful, and I think we should even discuss maybe keeping it open next year, Saturdays and Sundays in October. People call all the time and want to visit that lighthouse this time of year, and having it open one day a week was great, but I think we should even look at it further for next year. I was honored to be invited by the school's athletic director to be part of the newly formed Athletic Study Committee. The charge of this committee will be to objectively study all aspects of our current athletic programs to determine alignment with standards of excellence and best practices in the administration of an education-based athletic program. I believe I was asked because of my experience with the youth sports and the recreation at the recreation level, and also some experience I have with coaching, so it's a great honor to be part of that group. We will meet twice per month for the rest of the school year, so that's an exciting group, and I'm happy to be part of that. Two final things. If our residents haven't done so already, please create their Community Pass account so they can register for our programs online. This is done by going to the general registration page for Community Pass and then typing in the name of our organization, which is Village of Sleepy Hollow, New York. Once your account is created, you will receive an email that contains your log information. If you have any questions, call the Recreation Department at 366-5109. And a final reminder that our senior citizen bus goes shopping each Wednesday morning. If any senior citizen is in need of transportation to get groceries or other items, please give us a call at 366-5109 or on Mondays or Tuesdays so we can arrange to get you a ride on Wednesdays to the grocery store. That's my report for tonight. Any questions or comments?
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a nice appointment.
Yeah, and thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we'll move on to public comments. If anyone wishes to address the board, you may do so now or towards the end of our meeting. If you'd like to now, please use the microphone in the middle of the room. Please be reminded you're restricted to 3 minutes. Anybody like to address the board? Okay, we'll come back to that later. I actually do have, unlike what it says on our agenda, I do have an item that I would like to put on for resolution. And I received a memo from the Ambulance Corps advising us that Diego Gonzalez was approved as an active member. So we need a resolution acknowledging that so that we can send it back to the Assistant Chief, Angela Martello, who sent it in to us. So can I get a motion to approve Diego Gonzalez of Sleepy Hollow as a new active member of the Ambulance Corps?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just think in the future, we should have just a little bio on the person, just a description of their capabilities, et cetera. Be nice.
Okay.
Thanks.
We'll pass that on to the Assistant Chief and get that. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? And welcome aboard, Mr. Gonzalez. Is there any old business or new business? I have a number of communications that I just wanted to note for the record. We got a letter from, that just, it looks like these all came in today. And it's just addressed from Caitlin and William Alago of Sleepy Hollow Road. Concerned about the speed of people on Sleepy Hollow Road and requesting that the board consider a speed bump and stop sign at the intersection of North Street and Sleepy Hollow Road. So I'd like to remind the board that we have a speed bump, speed hump policy that we're considering. There are other requests in other parts of the village, so I'd like to revisit our progress on that next week. And certainly we'll add this to the list of requests. Also got one from David Sergi in the form of an email. Came to Ms. McCarthy-Tompkins asking about the condition of the lighthouse. I'll respond via email and explain that it's a county project and the county is putting the funds together to renovate the lighthouse, including the exterior, which was the writer's concern. And thank you for your offer to do a GoFundMe page, but I think the number is about $1.8 million, and that might be a bit much for a GoFundMe page. We also have a request, St. John Paul II Church on Broadway, requesting some parking consideration. I'm going to circulate that to the board, and we should discuss it as well next week at our work session. And the final communication that I have is a letter from Patrick Monroe of New Broadway regarding the intersection out here at 448 and Beekman and Broadway, and his concern that he's been raising consistently for several months, or if you go back several decades, about the tightness of the intersection and his desire to have the board, bless you, have the board, have the village put up something that better delineates the crosswalk where it comes on the west side of Broadway across from New Broadway. And on my way over here this evening, I noticed that the bollards that we had discussed putting up have been, in fact, installed, and they haven't been run over yet, but we'll see how effective they are as we continue to prod the state to take care of many issues on Route 9 in Sleepy Hollow. But I want to thank all of them. Thanks, Pat, and the Alagos, Mr. Sergi, for their, and I don't want to leave out Father Danny for their requests and for their communications. Anybody else have any other communications that need to be shared? I got an envelope full of, it says student letters regarding the lighthouse from first graders at the Hackley Lower School. And I haven't had a chance, sorry kids, I haven't had a chance to open it up. We'll all take a look at them and see what's on your mind and try to get back to you on that as well. All right, any public comments? Okay, I am informed that we need a short public, short executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Can I get a motion to go into executive session to do that?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? No, we'll hold the discussion for the executive session. But all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? All right, this is an executive session. I expect that when we return, we will just end the executive session and then end our meeting, that we'll take no further action. So thank you and good night.